Good afternoon, good evening, everybody, wherever you're tuning in from. It's Rod with Power Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth. Going to get started with today's live stream. I got a little bit of a different video here today, but we're going to go over a Reddit group for Tilray actually bans me for speaking the truth. What I think that's why I think they banned me. Yeah, when you speak the truth, people, you get the cancel culture and the social media police who don't like, when you tell them what they need to hear, and they want to be told what they want, what they want to hear, right? So that's not how I roll. I tell everybody how it is. I tell them exactly my honest opinion. And yeah, it got me banned from a Tilray group, but it's kind of funny. We'll get more into it here in just a second. But we'll give it another 30 seconds or so for people to join us. If you're just tuning in, let us know where you're tuning in from. And we do have Tilray earnings scheduled for next week. It's going to be on Thursday, July 28th, pre-market. But we'll get started here in about 30 seconds. A bit of a last-minute live stream, but we'll get started here momentarily with the video here today. And if you could smash the like, help support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe and tick the bell to be notified on any future videos. Give it another 30 seconds or so and we'll get started. I see we have people joining the live stream. Welcome. Best channel, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm going to get started here in about 10 seconds. Tuning in from Chicago. Awesome. Welcome. Hope you're having a great weekend so far. All right, let's get into it. So yeah, a little bit of a different video here today. I wanted to come on and just express my thoughts and opinions, and there's no shortage of trolls on the internet. We all know that. But one thing I've learned through my journey and, as a content creator is you can't please everybody, and everybody's always a critic. So it doesn't matter if you speak the truth. That's what we're all about on the channel here, is intellectual honesty and being intellectually honest. And a lot of people on YouTube just shill whatever they want to shill because, they're getting views and things like that. That's not how I roll on my channel. I speak the truth, and my channel will grow as fast as it will grow based on me, telling the truth and nothing but the truth, right? So me telling the truth actually got me banned from a Reddit group, which is this Reddit/Tilray group. It's got about 16,000 members in it, I think. And the reason why they banned me was because I was posting my thoughts and opinions via a video. And it happened to be this video here that got me banned. I said, Tilray brands technical analysis targeting $2.25 USD. I didn't say it was going to absolutely go there, but it's funny because I was posting videos and my videos in that group for so long, and no one had said anything to me or banned me. And then the second I post a Tilray brands video saying that it's going to go to $2.25 USD, they banned me. And they said that it was spam and that I was basically just spamming it, and people shouldn't do that. But meanwhile, there's people sharing YouTube videos in there all the damn time. And now that I'm banned, there's still people sharing my videos. So that's kind of funny. That's called irony, in my opinion. But yeah, people are still sharing my videos. So thank you for sharing my video, No Investigator, because I was banned, and I was banned for sharing my own videos and giving my thoughts and opinions, even if I was speaking the truth and people didn't. I was telling people what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. So anyway, they banned me, and kind of funny, right? But you just kind of have to laugh it off. I don't really care, to be honest with you. This isn't a popularity contest for me. I'm just on here sharing my journey, helping you guys as much as I can. You guys help me as well, and I'm very grateful and appreciative for the fantastic community that I have. And people like this No Investigator, right? Like people that are actually intellectually honest and good people, like a good human being, right? I think we need to get away from being a terrible human being, because there's enough terrible things going on in the world right now. We don't need any more of that BS. I'm going to get a little passionate here probably because I just have no tolerance for it anymore. Try my best to tune out the trolls, but it gets harder and harder as the channel grows. I'll tell you that much for sure. But this is definitely humbling. So No Investigator-9522 says, so this is a perspective from a Hexo investor. Keep in mind they're posting about Hexo in a Tilray group. This is important because a company, Tilray, had tried to buy for $4. It was actually $3 or $4. It was actually $2 or $3, I think, back in November of 2021. We could get a majority, 40 cents a share, or if he is correct about the boost next week, this just means Tilray gets more money. Either way, great news for Tilray. So I would agree. I think this is going to be good for Tilray no matter what. We know that Tilray has said that, Irwin Simon, the CEO, said that we can just sit on our hands and do absolutely nothing and collect $20 million a year in interest, or later on down the road when Hexo's share price increases and there's less risk, right? If they convert now, that's a ton of risk, right? But if the share price starts to rebound and gets to $2 or $3 a share, well, then Tilray might be financially enticed to convert that equity, right? And then they would have less risk and things like that. And not only that, for every $1 that Hexo goes up, Tilray is going to have about 500 million shares once they convert. So that means that every dollar that Hexo goes up from here, Tilray is going to make like $500 million. Of course it's good for Tilray, right? It's great for Tilray. And number 1 and number 2 LP it's good for Hexo too, because this is better terms. Obviously, I think Tilray got the better deal, but it's better than Hexo selling out completely back in November for that $2 to $3 a share. At least they get to retain, if they convert, Tilray converts, it's about 48% ownership in the company, right? So at least Hexo's still in the driver's seat. But let's just go down here to this clearly uneducated user here on Reddit, many_easy. So he goes on to just like spew. Well, he clearly isn't intellectually honest and clearly doesn't do any research or have any concept of logic. So he says, and I would have responded here to myself in Reddit, but again, I was banned because I was speaking the truth, saying that, posting videos all the time in there. No one ever said anything when it was bullish. But and this guy goes on to say that that I'm all about hype. And what got me banned from the Reddit group was that I said that we were going to target 225 on Tilray. So I was speaking the truth and not hyping, right? Hype is that's like the opposite of hype. It's like me basically doomsday saying that how much slack did I get? People are like, you're crazy. Tilray's not going to 225. It might not, but the chart said. I'm not telling you what I think's going to happen. I'm just telling you what I saw in the chart, right? And there's a weekly bear flag. I said CGC was going to have one as well, and check it out. I said CGC was going to have a bear flag. And then back here, I said bear flags everywhere. And MJ, High Tide had one. True Leaf had one. Tilray had one. CGC had one. And CGC actually hit its target of its weekly bear flag. And then Tilray hasn't hit it yet. So it's holding up better. But I was just telling I was calling it as it is. And let me know in the comments, guys, if let's let these guys on Reddit know how it actually is, right? I don't come on here. I think you guys can attest to that. And you can vouch for me that I'm not hyping. All of my speculation is not unfounded, right? And I don't come on here and just say, I think that stock's going to do this just because I think that. I actually give reasons, and I give timelines, and I give links and resources and sources and articles and publishers and things like that, right? I actually justify my speculation. And yes, I am speculating, but speculation and hype is two very different things, right? So this person goes on to say, based on what magical thinking and hearsay, he is selling himself and his advice. No different, but even though right on my thing it says not financial advice, no different than any other huckster claiming to have information that no one else in the world has. What information? This is how I know this guy's out to lunch, and he clearly has no idea of what he's talking about. What information did I share that only I have, right? He doesn't even make any sense. Long Tilray, but short unsubstantiated BS hype. Okay. Well, again, how about you tell me, I give facts and timelines and articles and reasons, and I think this way because, right? This person didn't even say because. He just said, he just states things without even giving any valid points or backing up his points. He is selling himself and his advice. Okay. Obviously, I'm on here, yes, giving my perspective, but I'm not selling myself. I don't give a crap what you think of me or what anybody else thinks of me. I tell the truth, right? And if you don't like the truth, and if you want to be told what you want to hear, go to a different channel or go find it somewhere else. I'll tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And then he says, no different than any other huckster claiming to have the information that no one else in the world has. Okay, well, what information is it that I have that I'm claiming that no one else in the world has? Give me an example. Don't just spout random crap and not give an example. This person clearly has no idea what the hell he's talking about. And everything I said in this video was not unsubstantiated hype. It was facts. It's literal facts. Everything that I can, and let me know there if you're so smart here, Mr. Many Easy or whatever. Yeah, let me know. Give me an example as to why I'm not being truthful or tell me what is unsubstantiated BS hype. What am I doing that's hype and unsubstantiated? I will give you a link, or I'll find a rebuttal, or I'll show that I'll give actual proof that what I said and everything that I say is not unsubstantiated hype, and it's not unfounded. It's all very, very believable and true, and it's speculation, but again, it's not unfounded. Speculation and hype are two very different things. I don't know for sure. I don't know if he's talking about the CPG partner, like whatever the hell he's talking about, because he doesn't tell us, right? But if he's talking about the CPG partner, well, I've already done many videos on why I think it's Kellogg's and why I think there's a CPG partner. There's even the Journal de Montréal article. Let's just do it. Journal de Montréal. Hexo. Okay, let's see here. Edibles. Anyway, I can't find it here at the moment. I don't know why, but for the sake of the video, I'm not going to go into it. I really don't care, because yeah, he or she didn't even give any reasoning as to why it's unsubstantiated BS hype, and I don't really care. And I think everybody here can vouch for me as well in the comments. Let's make sure, and if anybody's here is in this group, if you can share this video, since I'm banned in that group afterwards, I would really appreciate it. Would really, if you could help me out, and we're all on the same team here, right? I'm making videos in a bear market when every other YouTube channel doesn't even want to put out an MJ video because it damages their credibility, right? And doesn't get views, right? Because it's not popular. I'm here through the thick and the thin. I'm here in the worst of times, because that's when you guys need the help the most. And that's where I come in, right? That's where I want to lift everybody up and be that voice of reason and not substantiated hype, right? That's the exact opposite of what I stand for. So this person literally has no idea what they're talking about. And if they did, they would give examples as to what I'm talking about that is unsubstantiated. Tell me what is unsubstantiated. Don't just say it's okay. But sure, what is it though? What is it? Like, don't just say a stock's going to 100. I think the stock's going to $100 someday. Okay, how about add Y at the end? Or if you think the stock's going bankrupt, don't just say, oh, the stupid stock's going bankrupt. Okay, well, how about add Y at the end, right? Is it that hard? Right? It's because they don't have any reasoning. They're just on their emotional retail investors reacting, right? That's all it is. It's just emotion. So again, if somebody can share this on that page so that this person with zero understand concept of logic, if anybody can share this around so those trolls can see it, I'd appreciate it, because I can't post because, again, I spoke the truth and said that the stock was going to go down in price. But when I say bullish stuff, they have no problem with me posting in the Tilray group. But whenever I say the price is going to go down, but again, guys, I only talk about hype, unsubstantiated hype, right? It's like just bullshit. Excuse my French, but it's just, grow the hell up, grow up. Oh man, just grinds my gears, I tell you. But yeah, where am I at? Where did I leave off here? So yeah, everything is not unfounded. Check out my videos. There was the Journal de Montréal. Vincent Chiara, who's a director on Hexo, said that they have a Molson Coors caliber, and let's just find it here. I'll go here. Check this video out, all you trolls out there. Where is it? Here it is. So, new partnership revealed in the coming weeks, Molson Coors caliber. And it's probably going to do yeah, I'll just bring it up here real quick. It won't take me very long. So here's the Journal de Montréal article. And I don't know if I linked the, did I link it in the bottom here? Yeah, I did. Sweet. Good job, Rod. All right. So here it is. And okay, so for people that are scared of lifting a finger, you might have to use Google Translate as well, okay? I'm sorry that, this is a French publisher. Just so you know, you might have to do a little work to understand this, but I know most people didn't do the work because they actually had to go click a button or two. It wasn't spoon-fed to them. So I'll do it for you here. Let me lift that finger here for you guys. Google Translate, I'll just type in English here. Because, people can't take 2 minutes to go and actually research stuff. So, Le Journal de Montréal says Hexo wants to grow the edible segment. And they said Hexo, the company, wants to gain weight, blah, blah, blah. Management hopes to sell its first product to Quebec. Okay. So if you're talking about unsubstantiated hype, and if it's because, it must be because I referred to a CPG partner, because everything else that I mentioned in there was factual. So I assume he's talking about the CPG partner, but again, doesn't tell us, so no one knows, right? Because this guy's a freaking tool, in my opinion. Whoops. So if we take a look at that article, this isn't me who said it. I didn't say this. Vincent Chiara did. The director on Hexo. Do I have to tell you who that is? Like, I didn't say it. It's not unsubstantiated hype. I'll show you who friggin' said it. It's this guy right here, Mr. Vincent Chiara. And if maybe you want to send a letter to Chiara or Journal de Montréal and say, stop spreading unsubstantiated hype, maybe. Because I'm just relaying, this isn't come directly from the horse's mouth. I'm just relaying information. And it says here, it's more than cookies. It's also granola bars and other food products, says Vincent Chiara. Like, we hope to have the first product to SQDC Quebec by the end of summer. Mr. Chiara, who is a shareholder of Hexo, confided that the player will be of Molson Coors caliber. Unsubstantiated, you freaking idiot. Like, God. I can't even talk about it anymore, guys, as I get so fired up, because it's idiocy. It's just idiocracy at its finest. Like, give your head a shake. Anyway, moving on. That's the last we'll talk about that. So again, we do have earnings coming up here next week. We actually got a huge week of earnings. Tilray's Thursday before market open, and yeah, we'll see what comes out of that. But we've got tons of we got Alphabet, so Google, Microsoft, Visa. We got Shopify. We got Facebook, Meta, Apple, Amazon, Roku. This is going to be a crazy week in the markets. I think we're going to have a really good week in the market, though, I think. In terms of estimates on Tilray, and it has been declining quite a bit over the last quarter. Oh, but the cancel culture and the social media police might get mad here because I'm saying that we might come in less than estimates. Okay, so I've already been banned from the group, though, so it's fine. I'll just continue to speak the truth. But God forbid I didn't say that, Tilray is going to go to $100 a share, or, they might miss estimates. Anyway. Analyst estimates are negative 0.0966 on the EPS. They were dead wrong last quarter, though, so we'll see if that trend can continue in the positive area here. And like I said, revenue has been sliding substantially over the last 3 quarters. So we'll see if we can get back into the green corner here, and we can beat those estimates. But expecting 194.94 million, and that's all in Canadian dollars. And then taking a look at the Tilray chart real quick before we jump into the chat. And like I said, would appreciate it too if you guys could just share this video around on Reddit, because like I said, I was banned for telling the truth. But we are in a daily uptrend, so we had the low, high. We lost the uptrend here back when we confirmed the weekly bear flag, when we lost 302, but we didn't see much follow through. And that's all I said on that video, was that we have a weekly bear flag. CGC already confirmed it. There was tons of other names confirming weekly bear flags, so I just said, hey, it's a possibility that Tilray has it as well, right? That's all I was saying. And then what happened? I said, as long as we don't lose 302 support, we don't have to worry about the weekly bear flag. And if we get over the 0.382 there at 384, that will negate the bear flag. And this is in USD because it's on the NASDAQ. But we came down, we confirmed the weekly bear flag by losing 302 support, but we didn't see much follow through. And then what happened? We came up and we broke above the 0.382 fib. So we just negated this bear flag. It's no longer going to happen, in my opinion, because the odds are favoring now that we retraced past the 0.32. We retraced about 50% of that dump. That means that there's a good chance that we don't see this target of $2.25, but it's possible, right? What happens if the S&P 500 sees another leg down, right? And the rest of MJ was confirming weekly bear flags, and we're not out of the woods yet, right? We still need to confirm weekly uptrends and monthly uptrends across the sector before we have any confidence in a bottom being set, right? And I tell people all the time, keep your emotions in check, because we still got a lot of work to do right now, and we're still in weekly downtrends, right? So, this is just me being honest and telling you what the charts are saying. And then people think that that's what I actually believe, right? It's like, no, this is just what the chart says, right? And it's not even a guarantee. It's just the odds are favoring more downside. That's all it is. But now that we got above that level at the 384 and we got as high as $4, we actually went over the 0.5 retracement. Then now the odds of a weekly bear flag and that 225 target have diminished significantly. But we did see a pretty big upper wick there last week. So that's all I was saying, right? In the that got me banned, right? In the Reddit group. It's kind of funny. You kind of have to laugh it off, I guess. But we're back in a daily uptrend. So we have the low, high, higher low, and higher high. And then we have a higher low forming. We're looking for a higher low compared to 308. As long as we hold, that's the new key support, 308. As long as we hold 308 into next week, we maintain the daily uptrend. And then we just continue this stair-step pattern. And then we, like I said, we zoom out to the weekly. We're now bouncing on the weekly, and we watch for this weekly bounce to top out wherever it tops out. Maybe it's EMA 26 here around $5. And then we come down, we form a weekly higher low, and then we change the weekly trend with a higher low and higher high, right? We still got a lot of work to do before we get too confident in a bottom being set. And then in terms of the 10-week moving average, we didn't close above the 10-week moving average there. It's 370, so that was a little bearish. We did have a bull cross of the stochastic and the MACD, so that was good to see. Those macro indicators flashing, but next week I'll want to see us close over this 10-week moving average, and we also have earnings, like I said, on Thursday pre-market, so that's going to really dictate the direction from here. We did have a bear cross of the 50 and the 100 weekly moving average, but we did see a pretty big pullback after that cross, so we could be nearing a bottom here, and like I said, 243 is the all-time low. So if we do lose $3, we'll be watching 243 as the next major support level, and then 225, the weekly bear flag target, which was stated previously there, right? And then we had that death cross back here as well in last summer, just like all other MJ. So we're set to potentially get above the 50-day moving average. We didn't close above it though. So again, another tiny red flag. But yeah, we didn't get above it. We didn't close above it. So if we can get, and that's at 381. So 381 and the 10-week moving average there is 370. If we can close the week over 370 and then, to be really bullish, by next Friday, if we close the daily candle over 381 and then close the weekly candle over the 10-week moving average, I think we're going to see a huge move. And we got a lack of resistance on the weekly up until $5.17 USD. And then after that, we got a lack all the way up to about $9.08. So I think that we could see a pretty big move here at some point soon. Very ripe for a short squeeze. But again, we need to change weekly uptrends before we have any confidence in a bottom being set. But the S&P 500 is looking to potentially set a bottom, and that could be happening over the next week or two. We know that the interest rate could be hiked by 75 basis points next week as well, so that could provide some headwinds. So we'll see if that affects the broader market. But jumping into the chat here, sup, Rod? Oh, just dealing with trolls, trying to stay calm and cool and collected like I normally am, but it gets harder every day, because you get more people recognizing the videos and stuff like that, and I just wish that, I know that people like this obviously don't watch my videos, right? They really don't watch the video at all, because if this person here, Many Easy, watched any of my videos, he would realize that I'm the opposite of unsubstantiated BS hype, right? And I think a lot of you people on the stream here right now can attest to that, right? So, it's just, people read a thumbnail and they think that they know exactly what I'm going to say, and they don't actually spend the 5 or 10 or 20 minutes to watch the video. They just read the thumbnail and think they're a know-it-all, right? Haters gonna hate, yeah, absolutely. And, if that's what gets you off, like, if you just like coming on here and spreading unsubstantiated false claims, like you're talking about unsubstantiated BS hype, well, you have unsubstantiated points. You didn't even explain yourself. You went on here speaking random stuff without explaining, right? It's laughable. It's almost sad, really. And yeah, like, why do you got to be such an ass? Like, you got, like, hopefully everything's okay in your life, man, because, like, or woman, whoever it is, I don't even know. But, like, hopefully everything's okay and you're not, affected too much by any kind of trauma or turmoil in your life. But if you enjoy, like, talking smack and, calling other people down and trying to bring other people down, if that makes you feel better as a person, then yeah, sayonara. I don't want to be in your group anyway. Like, only reason why I joined Reddit, and I only joined Reddit, I don't even know when I joined, probably only like a couple months ago. Everybody's like, why aren't you on Reddit, blah blah blah, and I'm just like, because it's toxic. And then, but you get good people like this guy right here, the no investigator. Shout out to you, like, my friend, right? You're obviously a good human, but then you get just terrible human beings like this, who just make claims and then don't even say why, right? It's like, what part did I say was information that no one else in the world has? And what part of it was unsubstantiated? Maybe enlighten us, please. Like, what's your views on Hexo? Is it right time to buy? Oh, well, hang on, guys. This is a Tilray video. You know, the cancel culture and the social media police, we can't talk about anything else other than Tilray. No, see, it's kind of funny. You do a Tilray video and people are more interested in Hexo. Why do you think Tilray tried to buy them for $3 and $2 in November? Why do you think Tilray tried to offer Redecan $1.4 billion and then Redecan went with Hexo for $925 million, right? And then ever since then, Irwin Simon, the CEO of Tilray, even said he was chasing Hexo for months. And then yet all these people in this group just, you know, they're... And then shout out to this guy too, I forgot to mention. Ships coming in. This guy is good. He posts regularly on the Hexo community. It's rumored that Kellogg Company or another major player is partnering with Hexo on food. Oh, okay. So like this person actually has a brain and actually took 2 minutes out of his... If you just did 2 minutes of research, you would realize that this isn't information that nobody else in the world has. This is not unfounded. This is all very believable and like I said, Journal de Montréal. Like, what are you talking about? Give your head a shake, right? Like, ships coming in, like, it must, like, why is common sense not so common these days, right? Like, am I right? And if that's the case, then Hexo may be able to get in compliance with the rise in share value. So absolutely. And it's going to benefit Tilray tremendously to see Hexo go up in share price. They're going to stand to make about $500 million for every dollar that Hexo goes up. Think about it. If Tilray is going to have about 48% once they convert, if they convert, but again, they don't own anything until they convert, then for every dollar, essentially, that Hexo goes in price, if Tilray has 500 shares of Hexo, that's $500 million every time Hexo goes up, right? This person says nothing substantial for Tilray next week. Well, we have earnings, so something very substantial could happen, in my opinion. It's going to be a very important week because we'll likely get I did the video. This whole thing was the video of me saying that SNDL had until February 7th to regain compliance. And then on February 8th, they announced that they got a NASDAQ extension. So all I said in this video was that I think they're going to get an extension and they have until July 25th. So in my opinion, on Monday or Tuesday, based on what, again, not unfounded, not unsubstantiated, it's facts and actual references to what happened in the past. Past isn't indicative of future performance or any guarantee, but it's a barometer. It's something that we can use as a gauge to see what might happen. If it happened to Sundial, well, couldn't it happen to Hexo? Oh no, that's unsubstantiated. Right? Anyway, getting off track here. But yeah, thanks for all the people who I appreciate that. I appreciate these intellectually honest people and actual good humans versus people who just get off by making other people feel bad and look bad and try to, bring people down for the sake of, well, no reason. Because reasons, right? They have reasons, but again, he doesn't tell us what the reasons are because we're not worthy, right? He knows everything, even though he claims that I have information that no one else in the world has. Okay, well, in this video, I even said shout out to Rashid, who's a member of the Power Group community, who pointed it out. It wasn't me who said it. I even gave credit to a Power Group community member. Go fly a freaking kite, Many Easy. You freaking, so stupid. Anyway, enough of that. I'll go share the video soon too. Thank you, I appreciate it. But yeah, views on Hexo right now, time to buy. There's no good as time as right now. There's never a better time to buy than right now, in my opinion. We might drop. Hexo had a weekly bear flag of 14 cents USD, but again, Tilray didn't see its weekly bear flag confirm, and that doesn't mean it's not going to, or that we're not going to get to there eventually. Or that Hexo isn't going to get to 14 cents. But personally, I'm over 70,000 shares of Hexo. I'm close to 75,000 shares. So I'm not buying any more Hexo. I'll only buy another little bit. Like I bought $1,000 worth of Hexo at dollar cost average, and I bought some at 18 cents. I put $1,000 Canadian in. and I got 5,500 shares. Like, wow, that's a lot of shares for only $1,000, right? So if we drop to 15 cents USD, I'll add probably another $1,000. And then if we drop to 10 cents, I'll add another $1,000. But if we don't drop to 15 cents or 10 cents USD, then I'm not going to add any more. But I also own a ton of Tilray. Hexo is my biggest position. Tilray is my second biggest position. MSOS is my third biggest position. And then I also have like 11 other MJ stocks, a mix of Canadian MJ stocks, American MJ stocks. I have retailers, right? Picks and shovels. I have some ETFs in there as well. But yeah, I want all MJ to do well. I want Tilray to do well. I want Hexo to do well. I want American MJ to do well. Like, you know, and you get these people in here who are just like, oh, like Hexo's garbage and Tilray's going to take 100%. It's like, well, why, if Hexo's garbage, why does Tilray want them so bad? Like, that's all you need to know. Like, obviously, Hexo, they see a lot of potential in Hexo, and they've already said Hexo has a ton of potential, and it's working with leading it's in discussion with leading CPG players, is what Tilray said. Like, these people, man. So I think it's a great time to not just Hexo. I would encourage you to maybe look at adding other MJ stocks as well, right? Don't just own Hexo. Maybe look at, again, not financial advice like this freaking guy over here said. Says that I'm selling myself and giving advice. No, I'm not giving financial advice. Don't listen to me. In fact, do the opposite of what this guy is saying. Don't take my advice, because I don't want you to take my advice, because I'm not legally able to give financial advice. That's how crazy and just out to lunch this person is. I'm telling you not to take my advice because you need to believe in what it is that you're investing in. Take my information, do your own research. It even says that right here on the bottom of the screen as well. See that little DYOR? Oh yeah, but again, this person has no idea what they're talking about. So don't take my advice and do your own research. Don't just buy something because somebody tells you to buy it, right? Believe in what it is that you're buying. Believe in the products, believe in the vision, right? Understand that MJ's still young. And there's a reason why Tilray wants a part of Hexo. Why did Tilray CEO Erwin Simon say he was chasing Hexo for months? He was chasing them for months, and Hexo turned them down for $2 to $3 a share in November 2021. At least Hexo has over 50% of the business, right? And well, actually, Tilray doesn't own any yet until they convert. And it's my belief that Tilray isn't going to convert. I don't think they'll convert until at least Hexo gets to $2 or $3. Why? Because they tried to buy Hexo for $2 to $3 a share in November, right? Tilray tried to buy Hexo November deep dive. So that means they know the Hexo's way more than $2 to $3 a share, right? Tilray Brands attempted to buy Hexo for up to $3 per share in November, but was rejected. Okay. So that tells me that Tilray thinks Hexo's worth way more than $3, or they wouldn't have been willing to pay $3. So this tells me that they're probably not going to convert any equity, which we will know, because what did we find out about Canopy Growth and its convertible debt? Exchanges with holders. So they issued shares to pay off the convertible debt. So if Tilray exercises the convertible debt and they convert into equity, we'll know about it. There'll probably be a press release, or you can just simply go to Yahoo Finance and look up Hexo, and we can see the share count go up. So right now we're at 500 million. I think it should be close to 600 million after HTI and whatnot. But let's say we have 600, but once Tilray converts, that's going to add another 500 million shares, right? 40 million converted at like 155 million USD and a conversion price of 40 cents Canadian, that's about 500.5 million shares. So if this gets up to like 1.1 billion shares, which it would be after Tilray converts, then we'll know they converted. It's not super hard to understand, right? We'll either see a press release or we'll see it in the shares. If it's over 1 billion shares, we'll know that they converted, right? Even if there's no press release. So everybody just needs to chill out. And like I said, it's probably not going to happen for at least $3 a share, because they tried to buy Hexo for $3 a share. So that must mean they think it's way more worth way more than $3, right? So why would they convert before $3? And they're going to make $500 million for every dollar that Hexo goes up, right? And also, when Hexo gets to $3 per share and $4 per share, that's going to be way less risk on Tilray. If Tilray converts now, and they're going to hurt the share price even more, and they could hurt Hexo's business and could ultimately go insolvent, right? So now it's in everybody's best interest. KO's Capital, HTI, it's in everybody's best interest to see Hexo go up from here, right? And again, if Tilray converts, it's just going to hurt their investment in Hexo, right? So I personally don't think they're going to convert until at least $3 a share. $2, but I would think, at least $3, maybe $2, but it's got to be over $3 in my opinion. It just wouldn't make any sense. Again, use your brain, guys. Use logic. Why would Tilray want to be chasing Hexo for months, and why would they offer them $3 per share in November? What was Hexo's price in November? Let's go back. In November, Hexo's share price was worth like $1, right? Between $1 and $2. So they tried to buy them for $3, right? But keep in mind, that's NASDAQ. So if we go Hexo here on the TSX and go back to November, they must have meant $3 Canadian. And then in November, we hit a high of $2.35. So realistically, it wasn't even that much of a premium, right? $2.35 is what we hit, and they only offered them $3. Like, of course, Hexo is going to turn that down, right? At least Hexo still retains over 50% of their business right now, and Tilray doesn't own anything until they convert, right? So at least it's better than, I would rather this than selling out and Hexo have no control of the company, right? As a shareholder, I would rather this. But yeah, thanks for sharing the video. I appreciate it. $20 in the next 2 to 3 years. Are you talking about Hexo or Tilray? Yeah, I think both could ultimately hit $20 at some point. Tilray definitely probably hit $20 first before Hexo. But 100 of my portfolio is Tilray and Hexo and have been averaging down over the past year. 10K Tilray, 50K Hexo. Holding until legalization in the US. Yep. So that's pretty much the same as me. My biggest position is Hexo and then Tilray, and I'm going to be holding until US legalization. I've got 2 accounts. So I've got Tilray and Hexo in a short-term account, and then I've got them in a longer-term account. In my longer-term account, I have a lot more dollars or a lot less, capital in that account. So I've probably got like 10% of the capital in my long-term account, my long-term no touch, that I would be using in my shorter-term account. And I have some price targets that I'll take on Tilray and Hexo in my shorter-term account, but I'm not selling the long-term account until the U.S. legalizes. That's my plan. Tilray exposure to Hexo is scary in my opinion. Way too much new shares created will definitely dilute shares power. Exactly. So that's why I'm saying they're probably not going to convert, right? Is because it's going to hurt their investment in Hexo. If they convert, it's going to create more shares. It's going to devalue the current shares, right? More shares equals less piece of the pie. So if Tilray converts, that's going to be terrible for shareholders and Tilray, right? It makes no sense. So I don't think we're going to see. That's why Tilray said, Stefan, that they're in a good position to either do nothing and collect $20 million a year in interest, or later on when Hexo goes up and there's less risk for Tilray and less exposure, right? It just means less risk. Then when Hexo's at $3 or $4 or $5 a share, okay, we'll convert it into equity because there's way less risk, right? Versus if they converted now and they own Hexo and Hexo goes under, big problem, right? And then again, what people need to understand is, there's tons of shares in other companies as well. Take a look at Sundial. Sundial's got 2.39 billion shares outstanding. Hexo only has 500 million at the moment. So, but yeah, that's a very logical concern, Stefan. So I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's going to be a very key reason as to why Tilray won't convert. Agreed, Kisan. Yep, you bet. Hashtag shares. Wish I had a better average, but you got to believe in what you invest in. Yeah, exactly. And investing is not trading, right? People think they're investing, but they're trading. When you invest, you do thousands of hours of research. You understand what it is that you're buying. You understand that when you buy in, it could go lower because we're not wizards. We can't all time the bottom as long as we're buying near the bottom, right? You don't need to sell the exact top either as long as you're selling near the top, right? But yeah, I think most people are not investing. They're just trading. And then when something doesn't go the way they want it to, they bail. Well, that's not an investment. That's you reacting emotionally and you're trading, right? Think about it from, like I always use this analogy. Mark Cuban, if he invests $100,000 or $1 million into a company, do you think he's looking at what retail investors are saying and going on there and getting a feel for what the retail investor sentiment is? No. He could care less because 95% of retail are always wrong, right? So, and he's a billionaire for a reason. So he probably doesn't give a shit, excuse my French, but he probably could care less what any of us think, right? Because he's like, oh, I'm going to go out and I'm going to spend, like my team is going to research this thing days on end, like nights and days on end for the next, couple months. And then they're going to make a decision. And guess what he does? Mark Cuban, he'll put in $100,000, let's say, and he invests it. He doesn't sell it if it goes down. He doesn't panic because there's FUD about bankruptcy or whatever because the CFO gets fired. He says, no, I'm going to put $100,000 into it, and it's either going to zero or it's going to be worth a freaking fortune, right? And as long as he does that and wins more than he loses, which he has, and that's why he's a billionaire, well, then he has the most amount that he can lose. The most amount he can lose is $100,000, but his upside is unlimited, right? But he doesn't capitulate and sell because the bear market began and prices dropped 90%. Imagine those that sold Amazon when it dropped 95% in the dot-com boom and bust, right? Who emotionally, they thought they were investing, but they were actually trading, and they reacted based on emotion. And then look what went on to happen, right? This happens in every sector, in every market. Doesn't matter if it's precious metals, MJ, crypto. It's all the same. That's all charts are, showing us emotion and what people are doing, buying and selling, right? It's just emotion on a chart, essentially. Stefan, only if they convert, and it does make sense for them to do that. Exactly. So that's one thing we have to keep in mind is Tilray doesn't own anything until they convert. And they probably won't do so for a long time. Spammers, bots, trolls, just trying to bash people with facts. Yeah, exactly. Like spitting hard facts at people, and they're like, oh, unsubstantiated hype. And one thing you have to keep in mind, too, is there's a lot of bots on social media that aren't actually real people, and they're bashing stocks and cryptos intentionally. Like this happens all the time with XRP, too. They just spit. It's a lot of them aren't even real people, but they're just spreading FUD because that's what the billionaires and things like that are doing, right? Is they're paying people probably to create these fake accounts because, it's called playing your book. They don't ever tell you what they're investing in until after they're fully invested, right? And like, look at Elon Musk. He created the bubble, and then he went on Saturday Night Live and shilled Dogecoin. And I told everybody to get the hell out of Dogecoin a week or two before that Saturday Night Live skit. And then after that, it dropped like 80 or 90%, right? And then he said, oh, Tesla has diamond hands, will never sell. And then just found out they sold 75% of their Bitcoin. So it's like, you can't trust any of these people. They're all about money. They're all about power and bettering themselves, right? So don't just take everything that you hear with a grain of salt. And that's why I created this channel, was to filter out that noise and that, and to get to the truth. And we can all, if you can't beat them, kind of join them. But the more eyes we have on the market, the better. And that's kind of the whole concept of Pow Group. Was it's not easy. It doesn't happen overnight. And the market makers don't want us to win. They don't want us to make money. They want us to lose. They want us to quit and take all our money, right? Rinse and repeat. Don't bother caring about that bad mouth. It's a waste of time. Yeah, exactly. Well, I had to come on and do a video because they banned me for telling the truth when I said Tilray was going to go down in price. But yet I'm only a hypester, right? So I wanted to come on and do a video and set the record straight. But yeah, you're right. I do need to just ignore them. Definitely easier said than done some days. Stefan, I typoed. I meant to say doesn't make sense for them to convert. Well, I mean, it might make sense for them to convert later on, right? But right now, no, it wouldn't make any sense. I agree. Thanks, Sika. I'm not familiar with these types of procedures. Yeah, and we were talking about that today in the POW private community, that this is like the most complicated deal in MJ history, I would say. And not only that, you got to factor in, you got to think Tilray is going to buy MedMen too, convertible debt. So what they're doing with Hexo right now is essentially the same thing they're doing with Tilray. And one thing I want to highlight here, MedMen is a leading MJ retail brand in the U.S., holding 21 licenses and 25 retail locations across key urban centers, including the Bay Area, Los Angeles, Boston, Chicago, Las Vegas, and a significant position in California. And then look what it goes on to say. What is this SPV crap, right? Didn't Sebastian St. Louis say that we were going to see readies and gel caps into California through an SPV, a special purpose vehicle? Under the terms of the transaction, a newly formed limited partnership, SPV, established by Tilray and other strategic investors, acquired an aggregate principal of the notes warrants originally issued by MedMen and Green Gotham Partners. So is this what he was talking about? MedMen's headquartered in California. I was speculating it could be Green Thumb as well. But as we know, Sebastian St. Louis also said they're going to be working on white labeling agreements for MSOs, keyword MSOs, multi-state operators, so multiple American MJ companies. And MedMen's a retailer, very big into retail. So in my opinion, this should take precedence over Hexo because like Irwin said, they're in a good position to either do nothing, collect $20 million a year in interest, or wait until Hexo appreciates in growth. They'll make $500 million for every dollar that Hexo goes up. They did say $200 million initially, but then that was at 85-cent conversion. Then it got revised down to 40 cents Canadian conversion. So once that was revised, it went from about $200 million for every dollar that Hexo goes up to $500 million. So now it's even more beneficial for them to see the price go up, right? And they said that they wanted to see the price go up before they did anything in that BNN article, right? So then my point here is the Hexo debt, they have way more leverage in that deal than they do with this MedMen deal, right? And what do we know about the U.S.? They could potentially be legalizing descheduling. We could see safe banking as part of the defense bill, an amendment to that. And what I think is going to happen is we're going to get safe banking. We're going to get credit cards. People can buy with their credit cards and stuff like that. It's not just a cash business anymore in the U.S. Then we get uplisting to the NYSE and the NASDAQ. Then we get descheduling. It's no longer, on the same list of drugs as like heroin. And then after that, at some point in 2023, maybe 2024, maybe even 2025, who knows? We get full-blown legalization, right? But I'm pretty sure if they pass a safe banking law and legislation, I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, and again, I don't claim to know everything, right? This is what I'm pretty sure I was told, is they don't need full-blown legalization to make this deal happen. I think they only need safe banking to go through, or some form of uplisting to the NYSE and the NASDAQ. I'm pretty sure that is the case. If anybody can correct me on that, I'll make the video if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. So we don't even need full-blown legalization. But my point here is they may focus on this more because they have more leverage in the Hexo deal, and they're good to either just sit and do nothing or wait until the share price rises dramatically, and then they have less risk, and they're going to make about $500 million for every dollar Hexo goes up, and then they'll focus on MedMen because then this will be their into the U.S., and we also know Acreage is going to be potentially bought out by Canopy, which we know Constellation Brands now has a majority stake in Canopy after this news here. It's actually just posted today. Shout out to Matt who posted that. But essentially, now it's going to be reported on Constellation's financials, I'm pretty sure. And they're now the controlling interest in that. So MedMen, if Canopy is going to have Acreage upon full-blown, once it's federally permissible in the U.S., then Tilray is going to go after MedMen. And then essentially you're going to see these companies morph into an LP, a licensed producer, a Canadian MJ company, into a hybrid. They're going to have MSO and they're going to have multi-state operator capabilities, and they're going to have LP, right? They're going to be a licensed producer. They're going to become a hybrid. So in my opinion, I think this is going to take precedence. I think they're going to try to go after MedMen first. They're going to put Hexo on the back burner, like they said. They're in a good position to either do nothing or just collect interest, $20 million a year, or wait, and then later on, once Hexo goes up in share price, convert into equity. And then if it makes sense, he said, maybe look at putting the two companies together. But he said multiple times now that it's very important that they draw the line that Hexo and Tilray remain two separate, independent public companies. He said it's very important we draw the line there. And again, this is straight from the horse's mouth. If any of you trolls want to say that this is unsubstantiated hype or information, just end the video here and go find another channel, because I don't want you on my channel anyway. You have no concept of logic, and you're just trolling, right? If you don't want to actually understand stuff, I think that's what's wrong with people too, is they don't actually want to understand. They're just stubborn. They're too much of their pride and ego in the way, right? They don't want to actually uncover the truth. They want to be fed what they want to hear, not what they need to hear, and they don't actually want to understand, right? So I understand I do need to stop feeding into these trolls, because even if you give them a reason and point out a point and give them actual facts, they don't even listen anyway, right? Because they don't even want to understand. They enjoy making other people feel bad or just bashing other companies, because quite frankly, they're probably terrible human beings. I believe in Hexo no matter what people said. I'd just be patient and positive. Well, again, just be careful. Mention that HEXO word on a Tilray video. The social media police will be coming after you pretty soon. I am waiting from last year. I can't wait for more 3 or 4 easy. I can wait more 3 or 4 years easy. Yeah, exactly. And I don't need any of the money that I put into MJ. I own more crypto than I do MJ, and I've been focusing on real estate now, right? And I have more cash than any of those. So yeah, I don't need the money that I put into MJ, and I didn't invest any more than I'm willing to lose. And I'll continue to dollar cost average. And to be honest, you can't get 10 to 100x gains without low prices, right? So people need to just chill out, understand that bear markets are a natural part of the market. You can't get to life-changing wealth without very, very low prices to buy in at, right? It just doesn't make any sense, right? Again, these people don't have any concept of logic, right? So you need the low prices in order to see the life-changing gains. It's very, very simple. Tilray, along with Hexo, will explode in the future, no doubt, along with VFF and YOLO. I would agree. I think Hexo and Tilray are going to move on to shape the industry together. They're going to be they're both going to be top 5 global MJ companies. And I think they're going to be worth multiple billions. I think Tilray could easily be worth $100 billion, and I think Hexo could easily be worth $50 billion at some point in the next 5 to 10 years. But yeah, Tilray, I think, could hit $100 billion. Keep in mind, they're two very different businesses, right? And that's why Irwin Simon, the CEO of Tilray, said it's very important that they draw the line and that they remain two public, independent, separate companies. And that's because Tilray they sell alcohol, right? They have Sweetwater Brewing Co. They now have whiskey as well. They've got Manitoba Harvest. They got a distribution business. They made more money. They made more money off their alcohol business and the other aspects of their business than they did off MJ, right? And then you get all these hardcore MJ enthusiasts who love Tilray, and they say they're the best licensed producer. Well, Hexo only sells MJ stuff, right? They're an MJ manufacturing products company. They don't sell anything else. They don't have a distribution business. They don't have an alcohol business. It's only MJ, right? And Tilray is a very different business. So I think they both complement each other very well. Tilray is going to bring a lot more CPG interest as well, and just investor interest and big institutions, right? And it's just good exposure, right? Tilray talking about Hexo all the time, that's going to be great. And now it's in Tilray's best interest to see Hexo do well. So I agree. I think they're going to be two juggernauts. Keep in mind, it's now essentially Team Tilray, Afria, Hexo, Redecan, Zenibus, 48 North, and potentially MedMen. Good luck, everybody else. Cheers. If Tilray tanks on earnings, it's just another gift to long-term investors. Yep, I agree. I think that we could get maybe 1 or 2 more buying opportunities. And it's funny because last week, or the week before actually, people were saying, before we got the bill introduced in the Senate, I saw a ton of people saying, oh, I missed the move. And when Tilray was going up and Hexo was going up, they said, oh, I missed the move. Do you think Tilray is going to go back down to $3? And do you think Hexo is going to go to 20 cents again? It's like, are you kidding me? Hexo is at 24 cents and you said you missed, or 23 cents and you said you missed the move, and you're wondering if it's going to go down to 20 cents again? Like, what's the difference? 23 cents or 20 cents? Like, I really don't understand the logic. Like, you know, people are, they said they missed the move, right? It's like, and then Tilray, yeah, like you missed the move. It's like, no, like we're still relatively like the same price. Like you didn't miss the move at all, right? We haven't even confirmed weekly uptrends yet. Kind of funny. But people, like I said, people always complain about something, right? If price keeps going down, they're complaining that the price is going down and it's going to be zero soon. And then when the price starts to go up, it's like, oh, damn, I missed the chance to buy. Do you think it's going to go back down again? It's silly, really. Buy when there is blood. Yeah, exactly. Like I'm very grateful for these low prices. Like I never thought we were going to see, you know, Tilray at $3 again from $67 a year and a half ago, and you know, Hexo from $11 US down to 18 cents, 17 cents. Sure. I'll buy other people's fear. I was buying other people's fear for a long time, right? Where's all the people saying Hexo's going bankrupt? Well, they're nowhere to be found because they realized that, oh, that made absolute no sense, right? And there was like Hexo could have even sold its stake in the Molson Coors joint venture with Trust, right? They have like what 42% of that JV or something. So they could have sold that to Molson Coors, or they could have sold that to another LP or somebody else, right? A different business for millions of dollars potentially, right? But people don't factor in that. They just go on. They say, "Oh, Hexo's going bankrupt." It's like, okay, well, Mr. Genius or Mrs. Genius, how about you tell us why they're going bankrupt instead of just telling us they're going bankrupt, right? Same vice versa. If you don't think they're going to go bankrupt, say why, right? That's what I try to do. Every time I give a statement, I back it up with a why. Right? I don't say that I think Tilray is going to go to $100 and then just end it there. I say I think Tilray could go to $100 because it was once at this amount of market cap, and you know we were once at like 5 or 10 billion, whatever it was. If they're set to go to a potential run rate of $4 billion, we'll see. You know, like all these things you can point, and then you can use trends and pro forma and things like that, right? And acquisitions. You can look at the growth of the U.S. and things like that, right? Factoring in, you know, how many people and if they were to get a 5% market share of that or even a 2% market share, right? Like you can justify why a stock could hit a certain price, and you can also justify why it could go to zero. But if you just say that it's going to go to zero and then end there, or say that Tilray is going to go to $100 and end there, that doesn't do anybody any good, right? You banned me from the Hexo group for speaking the truth. What's the difference? I didn't ban you from the Hexo group. I'm not even, I didn't even create that group. I don't know who banned you, Nathan, but that wasn't me. I don't recall, but no, I'm not sure what you mean. I definitely, I wouldn't ban you for speaking the truth. If US took more time, and keep in mind, there's like 5 or 6 admins in that Facebook group, right? And I didn't even join the group until like maybe like a year ago or something like that. Like that group's been around for a long time, and it was managed by a bunch of other people. I came into it late. You probably joined the group before me, Nathan. So yeah, don't think that I banned you, because again, guys, there's always more to what meets the eye, right? There's like 6 admins in there. But yet you might be thinking that, oh, Rod is the Hexo guy, so he's the one who manages it all. It's like, actually, no. I barely manage any of it, and I was one of the last people to join. You probably were in it before me, Nathan, like I said. And there's like 6 different admins, right? So, again, I would appreciate it if you don't just automatically assume things and try to uncover the truth, right? You said you banned me. I didn't ban you. And I would never ban anybody for speaking the truth. But I can say if you got banned, there's probably a legitimate reason. I don't think people ban anybody for just the sake of banning them. So I know all the I don't know all the admins. I know quite a few admins in that group, but I know for sure that they're good people and they wouldn't just ban you for no reason. So So yeah, if the U.S. took more time, let's say 4 or 5 years for legislation, do you think Hexo will be able to survive its recession in the next 4 to 5 years if the U.S. doesn't legalize until 4 or 5 years? Well, yeah, I mean, Hexo's number one in rec sales in Canada. They're going to have access to $282 million in cash, 102 which is unrestricted now, and they're set to potentially become profitable from operations in the next 4 quarters, so in the next year. So even if it takes 2 years for them to become profitable, if they become profitable in the next 1 to 2 years, well, problem should be solved, right? So yeah, I don't think there's going to be. And like Tilray said, even if the U.S. doesn't legalize for another 4 or 5 years, there's still a ton of opportunity in Canada. Keep in mind that Quebec just introduced edibles. They don't even have vapes yet. There's limits on how much you can buy, 30 grams on an order. You can't buy any more than 5 drinks at a time. You can't buy it in grocery stores. Tilray said that we need beverages in grocery stores and convenience stores. And that could come soon. We could see beverages and things like that added to events and venues and restaurants, right? So again, there's so much growth. People just don't understand that there's a lot of growth to be had just in Canada, and then U.S. coming online. And you got to think too, Germany's a huge market, right? Billions of dollars worth. I think it was like projected at like 2 billion or 3 billion or something like that. So even if they get 5% of that, and then New York coming online, and keep in mind, Hexo has Truss beverages being sold in 24 different states in the USA. People are saying Hexo will never sell products in the US. It'll never happen. Well, again, Mr. Mouth Breather, you're incorrect, because they're selling products in 24 states currently. Like, again, people don't understand. They don't take the time to do 2 minutes worth of research. I got banned from the Reddit XRP group. Yeah, so did I. Yeah. That's why I created this channel here as well, right? Is you know, and you know, that's why I like having a membership too. It's not just because, you know, yeah, I want to get rewarded for the work that I do, but I mean, $10 a month membership for POW Group is pretty minimal, and you'd be surprised how more it's just way better, right? When people actually pay a fee to be a part of something. You get rid of all the trolls, right? And there's a reason why XRP charges, what is it? I think it's like 12 XRP is the reserve. So if you want to open an XRP account, you have to pay 12 XRP is the requirement to open the account. And that 12 XRP is locked in there until the network decides that the reserve fund is diminished. And that's to prevent DDoS attacks, like denial of service, so that people aren't on there spamming the network and creating a bunch of accounts and DDoSing it to death and then slowing the network down, right? So if there's a cost associated with it, people are way more intellectually honest. And like I said, a lot of those Reddit groups and Facebook groups and things like that, Twitter, it's all bots. What do you think Elon wants to prove that Twitter is all bots? Majority, they said 5% is bots. He's like, yeah, bullshit. He's like, way more than that. Now he's calling off the deal. And that's because there's bots on there that are talking smack on XRP. They're talking smack on Hexo. I'm sure of it. And that's because the market makers don't want you or I to do well, right? And XRP is basically the Hexo of crypto. And Hexo is basically the XRP of MJ, right? Everybody, all retail thinks they're the worst ones, but yet they're the best. Like, there's a reason why everybody... there's a reason why they're being sued right now. Ripple is because they're a threat, right? They're a threat to the incumbents in the legacy financial system, right? It's because they actually have what did Vitalik say? He said Ethereum will be 55% complete after the merge. Well, XRP is 100% complete today. So, of course they're trying to slow XRP down. It's because Vitalik Buterin, the founder, just told us that it's not even 55% complete. He even told us that Ethereum 1.0 was a prototype, a toy, a demo. It wasn't built to scale, right? It's just funny. Grain of salt, Rod. Proof is in the pudding. Yeah, you bet. I agree. Thanks, Tim. I appreciate it. Hello. Would you please share how you feel about midterm elections and how that might shift the MJ sector market? Thank you. Yeah, thanks for your question. So great question. Personally, I'm not big into politics. I don't care who wins or who doesn't win. I'm from Canada, so I really don't care who wins in the U.S. But personally, I don't think any of them, I don't really trust any of our governments. That's just my perspective. So like, look what happened to the Liberals, though. When the Liberals in Canada said they were going to legalize MJ, that got them in office. That got Trudeau in office. So if Germany is set to legalize and New York's coming on, and we've now been legal for 4 years in Canada, and Mexico, like all these like NAFTA, the North America Trade Agreement, and all that stuff, I don't think the U.S. is going to be left out for very long. And it said that the Republicans are leading right now by a wide margin in terms of polls and things like that. But we do have the August recess coming up, so that's usually when all the representatives go back to and start campaigning and things like that. So if they don't get it done, if they don't get this safe banking done before the August recess, we might not see something for quite a while. So I think there's going to be a very big push from the Democrats because they're behind in the polls. And we know that they just took control of the Senate. So in order for them to, and Biden's now talking about expunging records and things like that for nonviolent crimes. So it's good to see that Biden's actually talking about it. But not only that, we have this must-pass defense bill amendment for the safe banking before the August recess, so it makes them look better. And then we could even see Schumer's bill, right, gain some traction. So not only safe banking and uplisting NYSE in the NASDAQ and can accept credit cards in the U.S., and access to traditional banking, we could see even descheduling where they remove it from a Schedule 1 drug, right? And I think SAFE's going to happen first, then descheduling, and then maybe in a couple of years we see full-blown legalization at the federal level, right? But yeah, I think the Democrats could use this to their benefit in order to regain some of those votes and to start gaining on the polls leading into August recess and then into the midterms in the fall. But hopefully that helps. Yes, I love that team. Yeah, it's a pretty amazing team. Who would have thought? If you would have told me 2 years ago or 3 years ago that Tilray, Afria, Hexo, Redecan, Zenibus, 48 North, and MedMen would all potentially be working together, I would tell you you are like completely like bananas, right? Saying that would never happen. That would be unfair, first of all, and you could never agree to them to all work together. But lo and behold, here we are, a global juggernaut in the making. What do you think? I'm not sure what you mean, Aman, by that. I think you were just referring to your previous question, but I think I answered it. So hopefully that helps. Could you imagine the growth of if you could drink at events in Canada? Yeah, exactly, right? If you have like venues and music festivals and concerts and restaurants, it's going to happen. It's going to for sure happen. You'll be able to go to like a hockey game and buy MJ infused beverages versus alcohol, right? It's going to happen. It's 100% going to happen. Laugh out loud, Mr. Mouth Breather. Yep. Yeah, just spewing words for the sake of spewing words. Just no concept of logic or reasoning. Just a mouth breather. Good feedback. Thank you. It does. I appreciate your time. Yep, you're welcome. I'm glad that helps. And like I said, it's my Saturday night. I wasn't gonna do a video, but like I said, I got a little triggered by that troll, and because everybody banned me, I wanted to come on here and set the record straight. And I wanted to do a live stream so that these trolls, and maybe it is a bot, who knows? But I wanted to come on here and, well, first and foremost, thank everybody who has supported me and says all those kind words and everything. I appreciate the support. It really, really goes a long way. I truly do appreciate it. And I made a post on my community tab the other day that I just purchased my 4th investment property at age 32. I might even be looking at doing a 5th property here soon. And I'm not saying that to gloat or to brag or anything like that. I'm just saying that you can either make excuses or you can just do the work, get to work hard, and realize that if you want something different than what 99% of people have, you have to do things differently than what 99% of people, how they do it, right? And I could have there's always pros and cons to everything, right? But as long as you realize that there's no shortcut for blood, sweat, and tears, and you guys have supported me in my journey and on my pursuit of wealth, and I'm eternally grateful for that, right? And I'll do everything I can. I will never stop making videos. I'll never stop helping and coming on here and trying to be the voice of reason and uncover the truth, because that's what ultimately I want. And that's why I've lost a lot of respect for Elon Musk, is because he's not intellectually honest. If he was intellectually honest and he hates the SEC, well, why not back up Ripple in the SEC case? Why not? Why does he never talk about XRP? He's got SpaceX and Tesla Model X, and his son's named is X, and he's obsessed with the letter X. When before PayPal became PayPal, it was X.com. Why the hell aren't you talking about XRP? He said that he wouldn't accept. He started accepting Bitcoin for Teslas and adds Bitcoin to Tesla's balance sheet, and starts accepting it for payment for Teslas without doing research on the environmental impacts? Are you kidding me? You're telling me this richest guy in the world and the smartest guy in the world didn't know? It's all a ruse. It's all bullshit, in my opinion. He's intellectually dishonest. Like, I had so much respect for him, and I'm not trying to, if you like him, that's fine, but we can all disagree and still be friends on a certain subject. We don't have to agree on everything. But again, it's not unfounded. He said that he was going to accept Bitcoin. And then that caused the price to go to like $60,000. And then he said they pump, but they don't dump. And Tesla has diamond hands, right? He said this like a year ago. And then he stops accepting Bitcoin because it's environmentally, he said it doesn't come from sustainable energy. Well, why don't you use XRP, right? It's green. It uses less energy than Visa or MasterCard. It just doesn't make any sense. And then now he's on the Dogecoin train, which uses mining, right? Which is, you don't need mining in crypto, right? There's other forms of consensus and preventing the double spend problem. But yet he doesn't talk about the coins that are green, like XRP and XLM and Algorand, right? Why is he talking about Bitcoin? And then he comes on, and then he pulls a fast one and then crashes the price. Then he goes on Saturday Night Live and shills Dogecoin. And I told everybody this guy is not intellectually honest. He's shilling it. Get the hell out before Saturday Night Live goes live. I said a week or two at the most, or at the least, you want to be out. And then what happened? Let's just take a look at what happened to Dogecoin. So this guy is not intellectually honest. He's talking he only cares about himself, right? So yeah, it literally hit 73 cents and then dropped 93%. So ever since he went on SNDL, Saturday Night Live, not Sundial Growers, I said, get the hell out. I was saying, get the hell out right around here. And then it dropped 93%. And then what does he do? He starts accepting Doge, which uses mining, for merchandise. Oh, well, why didn't he accept Bitcoin for merchandise? Why did he just go straight to accepting Teslas? Might it be because he thought the price was going to go up and he wanted some, right? I mean, he sold it at a loss apparently, but I don't know. It's just not intellectually honest. And if you're concerned about the amount of energy usage, why not use the XRP, like things that are energy? Again, we're getting off topic on the crypto, but it's not that off topic because it's about being intellectually honest. And he said that they pump, but they don't dump. And then they said Hexo has not Hexo. God, getting tired. He said Tesla has diamond hands. And then we just found out that they sold 75% of their Bitcoin, like $1 billion worth. And they had like 15 billion on the balance sheet. And they said it's because of the factory closure in Shanghai. It's all bullshit. Like, no one believes that. There was reporters saying that he did that just to fluff the earnings report and distract people from the actual earnings report, right? They actually had like decline in sales and stuff. And that was just to distract the media, right? From what was actually on the balance sheet and on the financial statements, right? Like, the guy's a genius. He's smart. He's clever. There's a method to his madness, just like the Twitter deal, right? He knew exactly what he was doing. It's just, I can't respect that when people aren't intellectually honest. Like, I get it. You have shareholders and you're a billionaire and everything, and you want to stay in power, and you want to go to Mars and you want to be the new age dictator, I guess. But you're not telling the truth. You're not being intellectually honest. If you're concerned about ESG or, fossil fuels and clean energy, well, you don't need to use Bitcoin. You can use other forms of crypto that don't use mining that are 99% more energy, efficient than Bitcoin. It just doesn't make any sense. Thanks, Rod. Have a great day. Thank you. I appreciate it. You too. Have a great weekend. I only fully own Tilray because of Afria and the reverse merger of Tilray. Most people don't realize that Tilray is actually really Afria 3.0, but that's a great thing. Yep, exactly. And a lot of Tilray investors probably said Afria was garbage. And then when Tilray bought Afria or merged with Afria, they're like, oh, yeah, it's a great deal. Just tribalism, right? People just, Mr. Mouth Breathers, Mr. and Mrs. Mouth Breathers out there. Pretty sure Musk is going to back XRP soon. Yeah, exactly. Like, it just doesn't make any sense, right? He's not intellectually honest. He's not being intellectually honest. And it doesn't have to be XRP. Like, you don't have to accept XRP. Why not accept XLM or Algorand or HBAR? Like, Hedera Hashgraph uses way less energy than XRP and XLM, right? But XRP is meant for payments. And what was he doing with Bitcoin? He was accepting it for payments for Teslas. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. This guy is a puppet for big corporations now, and he sold his soul, in my opinion, to the government when the SEC sued him. And the SEC basically said, we will bankrupt Tesla if you don't capitulate and give in to it. And he basically said that they bullied him, and they made him settle. The SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, the market makers, the financial institutions, the Morgan Stanleys, the JP Morgans, the Vanguards, the BlackRock of the world, they don't want us to be wealthy. They want us to all depend on them. They don't want us to succeed, right? He dumped his BTC for XRP, my feeling. Yeah, well, he said he didn't sell any of his Doge, but just stupid. Like, I used to have so much respect for him, but I lost it all. I mean, he can redeem himself, but where can XRP be purchased? It's still on Binance if you're Canadian, but there's Binance US that's not on there. There's also a new on XRP. Check that out. You can buy it with like Apple Pay, I think it is. But it's a DEX, a decentralized exchange. But Uphold's another one that has it. I think Crypto.com has it, but don't quote me on that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you can buy it on Uphold, on XRP, and Binance if you're in Canada or not in the US. Hello again. Would you share any thoughts about ACB? Are they truly poised to be positive on P&L soon? Any foreseeable catalyst? Yeah, well, they're cost cutting a ton, right? Just like all MJ, pretty much. Even companies in the US are starting to downsize a little bit and do some cost savings initiatives. Personally, I'm not bullish on ACB. They're focusing more on medical. That might be a winning strategy, but I have zero interest in owning Aurora, to be honest. I just think there's so many other opportunities out there. With regards to their P&L, no idea, to be honest. Catalysts, I don't know of any specific ACB catalysts, but there's obviously the sector catalysts that I mentioned. Yeah, could it be worth throwing $1,000 at it and just let it sit? Either watch it go to zero or see it go to 10, 20K, over the next few years. That could happen. I probably wouldn't put any more than like $1,000 into it, though. Thank you again. You're welcome. Thanks for your questions. Anyone know where to buy XRP? Yeah, so hopefully I just answered your question. Let me know. Happened to me this, the SNDL confirmation bias cult. Yeah, it's toxic, right? Like the tribalism, right? Because they don't want to, they think that in order for SNDL to do well, or like in order for their MJ stock to do well, every other MJ stock has to suck, right? And that's just not how that's just not how markets work. But yeah, there's a lot of cultish and tribalism activity out there. People should be ashamed of themselves engaging in any of that crap. I want all MJ to do well. I want all of you to do well. I want every single person. I don't care who you are, where you're from, what ethnicity you are. I want you all to do well. I don't wish any malintent on any one of you. I hope you have nothing but the most success in your endeavors in life. Like, I can't get over people who just feed off of making other people, belittling other people. It's just absolute shameful. It's just pitiful. That might be the only good thing Biden said. Well, Biden's reading from a script. Check out the Russell Brand video on what was it? There was like end quote or something like that on the sheet, and he was like supposed to like do something like clap and then end the quote, and he like read what he was supposed to do, like in terms of gestures, and he thought it was like part of the speech. So he's literally reading from a script, and he even had like a little cheat sheet in one of the media news things that Russell Brand did, and he shows it, and he had the cheat sheet, he flipped it backwards by accident, and it literally had like all of the things. It told him when to clap and what to say, when to clap, and oh, it was hilarious. Like, our leaders are messed up. Like, again, not to get political, but I don't trust my government in Canada. I don't trust the government anywhere, right? They printed trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars over the last, couple years. Like, they're just destroying everybody's life savings, and especially those that are like baby boomers and people who are looking to retire soon, right? There's people, my girlfriend's mom, she retired a few years ago, and she's not sure if she'll be able to retire now. She's like, I might have to come out of retirement because there were some things that came up in my family. I had to bail out some of my cousins and my nephews and nieces, and they had some issues, and I kind of gave them some money, and she's like, I didn't really accurately plan, and then now all this inflation. She's, mid-60s, going on 70, and she might have to go back to work. And she just doesn't have, she's not in good health either, right? Like, well, it's not like she's not in good health, but like, people aren't not really supposed to be working when they're in their 70s and their 80s, right? And there's some people who don't even see an end in sight, right? XLM is my fave, to be honest. Well, I like XLM, but the thing is again, it's not intellectual honesty, because Jed McCaleb, he was part of Mt. Gox. Mt. Gox went under and went insolvent, lost a lot of people money. There's apparently, that's going to be coming, I think people are getting back like thousands and thousands of Bitcoin, which people are speculating that could dump the market a little bit. But Jed McCaleb has sold, he's worth like $2.5 billion now, and he sold 9 billion XRP. But yet the SEC goes after Chris Larson and Brad Garlinghouse. But yet Jed McCaleb was part of Mt. Gox, right? It went insolvent, lost a ton of people millions and millions of dollars and billions of dollars. And he didn't get a slap on the wrist for that or anything. And then he sold 9 billion worth of XRP and profited like $3 billion off of it. And he was a co-creator of the XRP ledger. And the SEC doesn't charge him with anything. He's the one selling the most of it. Like, again, there's some intellectually dishonest activities going on there. And again, I don't know Jed. Obviously, I don't know Jed, but he never comes on and talks about anything. He never shares his opinions. He never says why he did any of that. Like, it's just like he's under the radar, and he's sketch, in my opinion. I don't really respect him either, but I respect XLM, the project. And it's my second biggest holding in crypto, but it is an exact replica of the XRP ledger, essentially, right? But yeah, and you got to wonder, like, who's he selling all that XRP to, right? If he just sold 9 billion worth of XRP in the last 8 years, who's buying it all? If retail can barely buy it, right? Eric's asking where to buy XRP. I'm probably in the US and you can't buy it. If all the retail's shunned out, who's buying it? Probably like financial institutions and maybe even like governments, and maybe he's selling it to the exchanges, the secondary markets. Maybe exchanges are purchasing it directly from. Like, who's buying 9 billion? There's definitely not retail. And are they buying it because they think it's going to go to zero? Well, that doesn't make any sense. Not a damn bit of sense. But yeah, XLM's my second biggest holding. But XRP, my favorite crypto. And XLM's essentially XRP. So yeah. just XRP is going to be more of like enterprise level grade software. It's going to be more of a wholesale CBDC, and then XLM will be more for the front end, right? They have the MoneyGram partnership, which is more retail. So XLM will be the front end, and XRP will be the back end, used by banks and countries and bridge currency for those sovereign entities, things like that. And then XLM would be more consumer facing. Tilray, better than ACB. Yeah, I'd be looking to gain exposure to Tilray over ACB for sure. Thank you. I've been trying to load up on your beliefs. I have been in Hexo for years, and I agree with most of your sentiments. Gonna take this ride with you. Absolutely. And that's great that you're finding value in the content that I provide and whatnot, but you need to also believe in it. Have your own belief as well, right? Don't just invest because I believe in it. You really need to know what you own, and that's why I don't get emotionally upset when the price goes down, is because I know what I own, and there's a reason why Tilray's trying to buy Hexo or like committing to Hexo and chasing them for months on end, right? Just wouldn't make any other sense. Why would they do that if they thought they were going to go bankrupt, or if they weren't valuable or garbage, right? Like all the trolls claim. Awesome. I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate you. Repeat line. Not sure what you mean. But Jed got paid in XRP after he left. I understand he seems shady, but I think he's a genius. The Mt. Gox was at a time that crypto had absolutely no refluation. Also, I think that's why he was sued. I don't know what that word means, to be honest. But I don't think he was sued, was he? I'm pretty sure he's gotten off like scot-free like the whole time. But yeah, like he's obviously a genius. He co-created the XRP ledger. He deserved like all that money that was coming to him, right? He deserves, like, there's so many people that say, oh, he has way too much money and he made way too much money off XRP. It's like, well, no, he was given a severance because he wanted to take it a different direction. He didn't want to do it enterprise and work with governments and banks. He didn't believe he didn't see in the vision of where it was going, right? And he went off to create his own, but regulations. Okay. Makes sense. But yeah, I mean, he's obviously a freaking genius, and he deserves all the money and the value that, or the net worth that he has. He's obviously a genius, and keep in mind, when he was given that XRP, it wasn't worth anything, right? There was no guarantee that it was going to go to, $5 or $3, like its all-time high, $3.80 or whatever. There was no guarantee, right? He owned XRP when it was essentially worthless. And then it went on to become, and then he became a billionaire off of it. And he could even, now he has XLM and everything, right, that he created. And yeah, he's on the Forbes rich list. He's, I think it was like 500 and some, or like 300 and some. I can't remember. But Chris Larson's worth like 4.5 million. And he's the one of the executives at Ripple. So yeah, 2 people at Ripple are on the Forbes rich list. It's like, clearly they're doing something right. I have been looking for XRP for about 2 months. Obviously not hard enough, but it's not most American exchanges. Yeah, so I'm going to try to end it here, and we'll try not to go too much off on the crypto topic. I know some people get turned off by that whenever you go too off topic, and try to keep it more centered around whatever the topic of the video is. But yeah, we'll maybe I'll do another live stream about crypto soon. So I see where there's a lot of interest in crypto. But yeah, you got to wonder too, if it's hard to get it on American exchanges, who the hell's been doing all the buying? And the price has been trending up ever since it's been removed from American exchanges, right? The above was an old Biden reference. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Why he wasn't sued. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. All right, well, yeah, we still got over 30 people after, what are we at, an hour and a half. Yeah, it seems like these live streams, it's usually around an hour and a half every time I go live. And yeah, it's not a bad thing. It's actually pretty cool that, a lot of people on a Saturday night are choosing to come on here. And, if you're still with us after an hour and a half, then kudos to you. And, you're probably ahead of 95% of other retail investors, and you're probably going to make it because you're putting in the work, right? And not only are you putting in the work, you're trying to learn, and we're all on the same team. We're all trying to uncover the truth, get to the most logical conclusion, what makes the most sense. And one phrase that always stuck with me. Is that the right word? Stuck? That always resonated with me. Getting tired here. What was I talking about? One thing that always stood out was investing in crypto, investing in stocks. It's all about what makes the most sense, right? And when I look at the Tilray deal and Hexo and all the people online and trolls and things like that who say, Hexo's going to bend the knee and they're garbage and Tilray's just going to come in and swoop them up. It's like they're worth nothing. No, that can't make any sense, right? That doesn't make any sense. No, there's no logical sense behind that. If there was no value in Hexo, there's no way that Tilray would be chasing and then offering to buy them for $3 a share back in November, right? Clearly, they think it's worth way more than $3, right? So, and they even said Hexo has a lot of great assets and a lot of great brands. It's working with leading it's not working, but it's in discussions with leading CPG players. They use keyword players with an S. It's all about what makes the most sense, right? Thanks, Rod. You're welcome. Thanks for the stream. You're welcome. Thanks for joining, everybody. I appreciate it, and hope you have a great Saturday night, the rest of your weekend. And I may get another video out tomorrow. We'll see. If not, we'll definitely see you on Monday at some point. But going to end it there. Thanks again for joining us on The Pursuit of Wealth. It's Rod with Pow Group. If you could, smash the like, help support me in the channel. Share the video with anybody that might find value. And subscribe, tick the bell if you're new here. You'll be notified the next time that I go live. All right. Have a great weekend. Take care, everybody. And we'll see you on the next one.